All right, good morning, everyone. It's Trader Rob. We are live. Well, let's have a better day than yesterday. That's for sure. I was reading some of the comments. Michael, good job, man. I wish I could say the same, but I ended up making a really stupid mistake last night, and I took a really nasty trade on my cash account with what I considered, well, 2 contracts, which is absolute max size for my balances. I only keep about 7,000 in each one of the accounts, and I took a nasty one there. So even though I got back yesterday, I think I was down after the stream. My cash account's down like maybe $300. It was probably closer to 400, but much better than what I was looking at earlier. And then saw, not the greatest setup in the world, but saw set up pretty late at night on the NQ and took a nasty one. So I wish I could say the same thing, Michael, but congrats, buddy. Congrats. I want to say the last like 4 or 5 trading days have been a little weird. Either I'm up early, I'm down in a hole early, but today's a new day. So far, the market, the price action has just been pretty disgusting. Pretty disgusting. So right now on the near horizon, not sure what this is for. On the near horizon, we got really not much on the ES or on the NQ. So we're gonna have to see some decent price action here. It's been kind of consolidating since, I don't know, I want to say since like Monday of last week, maybe Tuesday. And we need some price action to get out of this, I would say the 500 to 300 range on the NQ. And for the ES, I'd like to see it get out of this like 6870 to the 6810s. If it could kind of revisit somewhere outside of that range, we might see some fresh trading opportunities. Not to say that something might not pop up here, but as of right now, the only thing we've got on the ES that's cooking is the 6763, and that's a ways away. That is a ways away. And I'll tell you something. There's something to contract positioning that I don't know if it's really talked about enough, but not to say that it changed my trading style. But in December, I made the journal entry that I was going to increase my contract size to 2 E-minis. And I don't know. I mean, the setups are the setups. So, I mean, my take profits and my stop losses don't move. But I always feel like there's just something about those first early days when you make the contract position change that gets a little wonky. So we'll see. But that was my goal for December, was to see if I can scale up one more contract. I would love to do the micros at like 15. That would fit, I think, my risk profile even a little bit better. But and then I've got also I kind of have a rule where, you know, my accounts, pretty much my baseline on my accounts are $5,000 each account. And the way that I've always traded them is once one account, and one is always trailing the other by about 1,500 to 2,000, depending on the fills and the executions and stuff like that. But the way that I've always been, or how I've been managing my cash accounts and my withdrawals have been, once one of my accounts reaches that $10,000 mark, And then the other one should be resting around 7,500 to 8,000. I will take out the 5 from the 10, bring that one back down to 5, and then make my $8,000 account my leader account, and it'll copy trade to the $5,000 account. And that's kind of what I've been doing for the last, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 months, and it's been working out really well. But one of my rules is that if my leader account, which remember is always has that like $1,800 to $2,000 kind of buffer, if that account ever gets down to 5, I will scale down. So that's kind of the way I'm playing. This is a nice little move there on the ES. All right, so now we might be able to take a look. If it can break right here at the 68.55, so it'd have to break somewhere right around here for me to consider some major structure. And then, actually not major, but minor structure. And then right here would be a break of some really big structure for the ES. So if we can get at least past this line here at the 68.55, then I can I'll start scoping out this area of unbalanced volume. My only issue is just knowing what price action's been doing. Well, this is kind of decent. That's a decent move. I was gonna say it's been kind of choppy, so we'll see. But it's got to break here for me to get really interested down here. And ultimately, if we can get past the 68.64, that would be even better. All right, so NQ broke major structure right here at the 25.545. It's kind of funny because that's actually the exact area I was kind of looking at for last night as well. I won't talk about that anymore. All right, let's see what we got. I think it's going to be a little ugly just because of price action getting up there, but let's see what we see here. TP1's not the greatest there. Just didn't have like super impulsive moves yet. It's a tiny trade again, but all right, so let's see what price action wants to do once we revisit the 25.527.25, targeting the 25.533, and TP2 at the 538.50 with a stop at the 25.519.75. No high impact news this morning, so we got a pretty light day on headline news. But and the ES right at this peak still. All right, good morning, Michael. Good morning, Cad. Steve, good morning. David Ray, good morning. Joe, good morning. Key, good morning. B. Drex, good morning. Random, good morning. Steve Futures, good morning. E. Anthony, good morning. Is the NQ 567. 567. I hate when it does that. When I hit my preview button, it goes to my desktop. I gotta figure out a way to take that off. Signals in there, right? Wondering if do you have data on what time? Yeah, that's a good question. All right, let's take a look here. So random, I gotta, on your question on that signal, I have had it off my charts for a while, but I gotta take a look and see. I'll look after the stream if that already hit or what the reason was on that one. But I do see it there. But is it still in the open? Because if it's not in the open trade signals area, yeah, it is. That's interesting. All right, I'll take a look at that one. That 25,567. So I did not have that on my... I have not seen that one on my charts for a while. Yes. Morning Nordic, morning Chump Sauce. Let's get close. Now I'm really baffled why that setup was not on my chart. Well, regardless, at the 567, that would have been a big fat loser. The 13th. I don't know. After stream, I'll take a look at that one because that one's kind of really baffling me right now. I blew right through it with no confirmation candle. ES looks pretty dirty today. Even in that unbalanced area, it's all just pure shit. No good setup there. So majority of volume is sitting above us, at least unbalanced volume that they could. It just seems like the market's prepped for a new region. So we could see it blow through this here pretty quick. We'll see. They got a big auction here at the 6860s, so that's why I got that marked off. Now let's see how many of you guys finished off November in the green. How many were in green or red? 50-50 so far. Let's go. Let's see somebody that's got... don't be shy. All right, let's see how the 27s are coming in. Not bad. 26 is good. I just don't think the market has much to do down here. I think it looks a lot more entertaining up here. We'll see. Maybe it likes its comfort zone. All right, so 69 people so far, yes, on green in November, 31% no. I guess I would have tipped the scales into the 70% area, but I can't vote. There we go. Gold had a nice move this morning. So that, yeah, I guess that that 567 would have been right at the, well, a couple minutes after the open. That's a tough one. I generally have a pretty hard rule of 5 minutes before, even 10 minutes before is probably even safer, and then 10 minutes after. So I'm typically looking for my setups at around 8:40. Anything later than that's great. And I got to do a better job with the news. I had took a pretty dumb trade. Actually, I think it was two, right almost at the same time, both with high impact news. Can't remember. I think it was Not last week, but the week before. Yeah, for me, the market's got a lot of fun things to play with in the playground up here. I mean, it might want to come to its comfort zone. I just don't see much down there. We'll see. All right, so Apex's sale ends today, December 2nd. That's 80% off. On a 100K account, the PA's fees are $10. The other account sizes are $40. So that deal comes to an end today. I really do think it was probably their best deal that they ran this year. You know, they had a 90% off, but when you do the math, it just doesn't make any sense. This still beats that. Let's see. Funding Ticks is still 50% off as the time of the stream. I know it says it ends soon. I don't really like how Funding Ticks does that. Give me a date and time, but I don't see one. They're 50% off, even their instant funded accounts. Tradify is 30% off until December 31st. That's pretty much their stock discount. And then Take Profit Trader has got the 30% off, and they'll refund you their eval cost at the first payout, which that's kind of gimmicky to me, but so a few people have said that, Random. I had somebody on my Discord. The way I read it, I mean, what's the point of saying lifetime PA fee? To me, it's the lifetime of that evaluation. If you blow the evaluation, or if you reset the evaluation, at that point, that fee is gone. That discount is gone. But why would they say lifetime PA fee if they're going to cap it till today? And you had Thursday, Friday, that most people weren't trading. Saturday, Sunday, you can trade. Just today and tomorrow, yesterday and today to pass, that doesn't make, I don't know. To me, that doesn't make sense. Either way I read it is that, all right, this is what I wanted to see here. This is where, let's see the ES break. We need the ES to break at least the 55s and then start playing around here and we'll get some action. Thanks, Nordic. Deep Into London is playing right now. Try to mix it up for you guys on the music. It's the lifetime of the account, not the buyer's lifetime. Yeah. The lifetime of the actual PA. I mean, I'm sorry, of the eval. So to me, that wouldn't make any sense to make people pass by the second. Then why would you call it a lifetime PA fee? Lifetime of that eval. I mean, I guess I could be wrong, but that just doesn't make any sense to me. And I read it like 5 different times because I know someone on Discord asked me. That would kind of suck. So it's the lifetime of just the... It's the lifetime of the promotion period? I don't know. It's still just... that doesn't... I mean, simple grammar doesn't make any sense to me on that. But... I've been known to be wrong. Kind of dipped its waters. Dipped its feet in the deep end here. Guys, I'll be right back. Here's the setup on the NQ that I mapped out. You know what, let me just get rid of this guy. Hopefully you guys can see that. Entry is at 25,604. TP1 is at 25,610. TP2 is at 25,622. Stop loss at the 25,595. And I got to answer this. I'll be right back. Man, these spam calls are killing me. These spammers are getting so good. They use the local area codes. I don't know if it's a customer. I think there should be a law that telemarketing calls have to come from a 1-800 or an 888 number. I think they have to stop using the local prefixes for their telemarketing calls. It's complete bullshit. I get so many. Oh, that's a good one, Mike. It's gotten obscene, man. All right, let's see it push into some liquidity here. Let's see what we can do here. I agree. Like I said, I mean, if the number comes from a 1-800 or 188, 888, don't answer it. But now that they're making local prefixes, that makes it almost impossible. All right, we got the tap there. Well, that was quick. That's what we like to see. That is what we like to see. Zero drawdown. Took 15 points on that one. And it came so close of balancing out too. It needs to balance that out still. It can go right up to the 624s. So right around here. All right, TP1 and 2. Let's go. Hit the like on the stream, guys. That's what we needed. That is what we needed. Morning, Morgan. Sorry about that. Good job, Steve. Good job, Key. Cad. Key. Yeah, that was a good one. Oh, $600 through all my accounts. Nicely done. Nicely done. Was that a super signal? No, it was I don't know, I had a lot of conviction on that one. And on the NQ, I just want to be a little bit more aggressive on my entries. I pretty much just set it to my IB play, which is 15 points. It's the ATM that I had set on that one. But I mean, the reaction was, I mean, that got me my TP of 15 points, I want to say in about 8 seconds, 7 seconds. All right, get rid of this guy. Nine points of slippage on the followers. Yeah, I didn't, mine all got filled all at the same time. My P&L is the exact same across the board. Did you market entry into that one, Michael? Okay. Yeah, and a move like that, the market entry is gonna... That's a tough one because, you know, that's like a prime example where the footprint confirmation on the NQ is gonna be very, very tough. Just because of the move off the reaction. That was nice. 0 drawdown. I like that. All right. I feel like we're back on the saddle again. Let's see what the ES is. Nice, Joe. I am also using Replicanto once again. Went back to all my original entry management. The only thing I don't have on this computer down here is my Trade Devils trade management, which I should just add again. So I can take it off my laptop and put it onto this one. I do like that one. I might have to be right clicking. Was there a problem with your copier with Replicanto? Previously, I was using, since pretty much the stream started, I was using affordable indicators. My only issue, and again, I don't think it's affordable indicators' fault. If you guys remember the first like 3 weeks of stream, I was constantly having issues with my lag. Felt like my order entries were, you know, when I would hit my buy or sell, I felt like I was waiting an eternity for that entry to actually appear on my screen. And I was having a lot of lag, and I think it was NinjaTrader. It was not, obviously, the indicators. But when something gets in your head, I turned it off But now, since I reinstalled NinjaTrader and redid my charts, everything is just running really smooth. Market entry is really quick. So something was corrupt. And I do remember when I first built the machine, I installed NinjaTrader and I did get an error in my install. And I think I reinstalled or retried and it went through, but I was always having issues. And then I just did a complete wipe of NinjaTrader and reinstalled it, which was a real pain in the ass because you got to redo all your charts. I didn't want to save a template and then reload it because I thought maybe there was something wrong in the template that I had, some kind of code or an indicator that did not like. So I just did a full wipeout and a full reinstall, and it fixed everything. All right, 10 minutes to IB. Yeah, 600 are pretty, they're average. Now they're coming in a little stronger. 600s, yeah. But nothing I would say is like super crazy. It's just, remember, that psychological number is always going to have some volume sitting there. I've used Apex's copier here and there, but have had troubles with it. Not sure if it's me or the copier. It's the only one I've tried. So I've been using Replicanto for probably 3 years. And I mean, I know I hear everybody always complaining about their trade copiers. Honestly, I've never, knock on wood, man. I don't even know if there's some wood anywhere on here. But I really haven't had an issue with them. And I didn't really have an issue with Affordable Indicators copier either. I think it was more Ninja's issue. But I'm kind of a creature of habit. Something just works. I say it all the time. If I pay for something, it just needs to work. And when it doesn't, I get pretty upset. If you haven't hit the like button, guys. All right, I guess we can end this poll. Let's see if we can get that. Geez, 50-50. Oh, that ended up right smack down the middle. The key with Replicano is to restart it every trading day. So I that's another thing too, Morgan. Now you bring up a good point. Oh, close it separately. I've never done that. One thing that I do now that I never used to do, I used to leave my Ninja running for sometimes an entire week. I would just not even turn off my PC. I don't know why. Don't ask me why. This was on my PC upstairs. And something in my head was like, this probably isn't good. It's not good on the computer, the strain of the computer. And now I just make a, when I'm done with my trading session, well, I've got two trading stations. I got one in my studio downstairs, and I still have one in my room upstairs. So I typically have at least one instance of Ninja running at all times, but I will turn it off and turn the entire computer off once I'm done trading down here and just restart everything in the morning. But I've never done the closing out Replicanto. So in that scenario, I guess if you reload, if you close it and you reload it, all of your settings should still be there, if my memory serves me correctly, because I think that's happened to me on mistake once. And the settings were still saved there. I also did figure out the issue. Again, sometimes I just make dumb mistakes, but I did figure out the issue with my journaling software, the TradeZilla, where I was constantly having issues syncing. So Ninja only allows you to have 2 instances of Ninja running at the same time. And if you link a service up to Ninja, so I had TradeZilla linked up to Ninja Trader so that as I would take trades, it would auto sync into my journal. Well, Ninja considers that a second instance of Ninja. I did not know that. So when I had my trade platform upstairs taking the mechanical strategies and I was down here, it already had 2, and that's why I was always getting those sync errors, which I never got upstairs because I didn't have the studio down here, so I only always had one instance. So I was pretty proud of myself that I figured that out. So there's Jeff on that. I read a lot because remember when I was having the issues with Ninja Trader, I watched a bunch of there's one channel. He's really good at giving updates on Ninja Trader when like the new updates come out or some fixes or some workarounds. I can't remember. I think it's ABCDX or something like that. Trading, they sell indicators and stuff like that. He's got a good channel for Ninja Trader as far as like tips and tricks and optimization and some fixes. But I do watch all of his videos when the new version of Ninja Trader does come out, or an update that they do, because he does do a really good job of highlighting them. But there's mixed signals on clearing your cache every day. Because I read the same thing. I read that that's great. You know, going into your documents, Ninja Trader, and clearing out a few different folders will help speed things up. But then on the flip side, when you look at Ninja Trader's support forum, all of their support texts, when they reply to them, they say not to do that, or it's not needed to do. So I'm like, well, then what the hell do we do there? So I just leave it alone. And at this point, now that it's working, I leave it alone. The last thing that I want to do is mess around with it. All right, I'm gonna go refill my coffee. I'll be right back. Whoa, whoa. That was quick. That came pretty quick. Let's see here. Oh yeah, big dump on GC. That was a big reaction there, huh? That was a big old reaction. Doo-doo-doo. So I got waved off on my third cup of coffee. My wife said I had to drink tea. Decaf tea. Well, that was a big move. Which I'm okay with. Good job on passing the Apex account. No problem, Jeffrey. Don't do that. Don't do that. That was a pretty damn close sweep right there of our TPs. That's not right. Right there. 31.27. So this brings down the probability now on this trade for sure. I'm going to kill this one. I'm going to look for a footprint confirmation. I might regret that move, but Let's see what happens here. That was a very strong reaction right there. They're still defending this area very strongly, the 27s, but I don't have much of a defense right now. But they are defending it. They are defending the entry. I don't know, this still could be a good play here. Oh, so the MNQ missed it by 2 ticks. Yeah. Yeah, for me, unfortunately, at this point, it would probably have to be an invalidation. I didn't know it got that close on the, because on the NQ, this was probably about 3 points off. So you've got some stops now that came in. So you've got a stop loss little run right here. Your defense at the 27s looks great, but we got nothing down here. I got no layer of defense between my 27 and my 19. I do like the fact that they're not really interested in the 19s, so that's positive. But I'd like to see this build up here a little bit. And I did map out this area right here. So this goes from the 25,599 to the 609. Not a trade necessarily. Doesn't fit perfect, but my entry would be right around here. My stop would be somewhere right around here. And you can actually go for a pretty big target here. I'll leave that there. I would say it's probably about a B minus setup. Morning, Nate. Guys, if you haven't hit the like on the stream, appreciate it. I think yesterday the only signal was the ES, which was a loser. I know I mapped out one, I think earlier than that hit. Oh no, we did hit one. We did hit because I was up $1,900. That's what hurt even most. We had an NQ trade that hit, and then we took that loss for on the ES. Let's see what kind of reaction you get right here. So that was a tap, I think, there. Not sure if that would have got your entry, though. That would have got your entry. Now let's see if we get that footprint confirmation here. No footprint confirmation. No footprint confirmation. Badoosh. All right, good non trade. So now that's why I considered this one to be kind of B minus. Didn't have a lot of conviction on that one. That's another thing, guys. When you see me have white lines on here, it's typically a trade that I'm not. If I don't even map them out as blue, red, green, it's not a setup that I'm in love with. All right, so we're approaching the IB. What can we do here? What can we do here? So yeah, Morgan, I think yesterday was one NQ trade that went for TP1, TP2, and then we took for a winner, and then the ES trade was a loser. And I, of course, re-entered into that trade twice. Got stopped out to the tick on the second re-entry, but it's okay. So pretty soon, if we hit IB here, this trade is probably going to go away because now I'm going to be looking at this unbalanced area. I don't like having two trades that close together, but we'll see first of all if there's a setup here or not. But this, in my mind, also is pretty invalidated at this point, even though they are defending that 27 still pretty good. No, I'm not. I for sure am not having a resting limit order on this 527 anymore. The fact that we came 3 points and you saw the reaction, and Mike said on the MNQ it came about 3 ticks away from the 527. Even though they are still defending it, I will give them that. They're still defending it. I didn't see any secondary level of defense between my stop and my entry. So in my opinion, this setup here has lost its validity. Is that a word? Validity. So what's interesting is on the ES, the IB high, it sits at the 68.57. But you've got a huge auction right here that can take place. So you could see, it's about a 3-point sweep. But on this, if you were looking at the ES IB trade, I would look for a sweep of the 68.60, then hopefully get a footprint confirmation. That's what I see on the ES. And on the NQ, sorry about that. IB still kind of light at the IB high. You do got the 650s right here. That's got a good amount of volume. So that could be the push with the tap into IB. That could be a play right there. We'll see. All right, here's a tap into some good liquidity. Let's see if they make a little sweep or they reject from there. Let's take a look here. It did churn through a good amount. Good push. Oof. No footprint confirmation there. No footprint confirmation for me there. So right now, the 670s, you gotta be careful with. Looks like they're going to tap into the 670s. So they tapped into the 70s. The issue is that they just reloaded again, so there might be a retest here. Retest and a blow through. We'll see. We'll see. I could very easily retest at 670 again. Okay, if they can get through the 50s. They can get through the 50s and you've got... Might have some trouble here. Might get a bounce here off the 50s and retest the 70s. Or a strong push to the downside. Let's see what happens here. Yeah, I might want to retest the 70s. Let's see. Get rid of these guys. Still going to leave this 670 because you could see a retest there. Let's see. Didn't really see anything great on the footprint confirmations at all. Big fight at the IB. Let's see who's going to win. Just playing ping pong here. Okay. Rab reversal just slammed. Nice. Let's see. That would have. Yeah. So your entry would have been at the 29s. A little risky just based off where it was at, but you did have some good liquidity sitting up there. All right, let's see what else. Did break structure there. Load DP. All right, guys, set up to go long on the NQ at the 25, 563.50. Targeting the 25, 573 and the 577 with a stop at the 552. Entry 25, 563.50 TP1 at the 25,573, TP2 at the 25,577.50, stop loss at the 25,552. Just take a look at the ES. Nothing here on the ES. Huh. Did what I thought it would do there. Nice little sweep there of that liquidity. Then brought it right back down. Okay. All right, guys, I think that's going to call it a day for me today. I'm up really nicely, and I want to give back anything to the markets. Some nice setups here this morning. So stay patient. We've got this in Q1 mapped out at the 25,563, targeting the 573 and the 577 with the stop at the 552 on the NQ. If anything else pops up, I'll make sure to put this one into the signals, and any other new ones will go into the signal service. Remember, a lot of the Black Friday sales are ending today, specifically the Apex funded one. And if you haven't hit the like button on the stream, that's the only thing I ask from you guys. Thank you guys so much. Have a great day. Happy trading to everybody, and see you guys here tomorrow at Market Open.